Today is just another grind day. I got out of work a little bit early, but it's just another grind day. Good morning, passport holders. Today is March 26, 2016, day 512 of the vlogs, and it's actually been a rough start. I woke up after going to bed at around 1:30, woke up at 5:05 a.m. first time round. Super frustrating to continue to have these problems. I forced myself to stay in bed, did end up falling back asleep around 6:15, stayed asleep until 7:10, and then got started with my day. It's currently 9:40, yep, and just trying to finish up the edit on the vlog because while I did heads and tails and everything else, I still didn't do graphics or just additional cleanup. I do apologize that there were parts of that clip parts of that video using the DJI Osmo. They made a big update to the firmware. The sound levels drastically changed, right? I had made mention that the last update they made a couple weeks ago reduced them by like 20 decibels, so I put on the high setting on the mic, and then the clips, once they fixed that, were all completely and utterly blown out. One of the things that got screwed up in that, though, was that I had a clip that was just utterly unusable, and that's the, well, let me just reveal it to you guys. So, I decided to throw up the old camera backgrounds up against that window, right? So I've had all kinds of security concerns relating to that window over the past, 5.5 months since I've lived here. The fact that you can always, because the Venetian blinds don't cover completely, you can always see in here. You can always know when I'm home, when I'm not. You can see very clearly all my tech. And so I've been really frustrated with that. I've wanted to do something with it, but because I've spent so much money in the past couple of weeks, I didn't want to go out and buy like a big curtain because it's a huge window. It's 74 inches across. So, I would have to throw down for a lot of curtains. I'd have to throw down for a much larger curtain rod and all that kind of stuff, and then mounting it, and then I've got to spackle and fix that, paint it when I leave here. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me. So this is a temporary fix that may become somewhat permanent. The alternative that I do have in my head, and since I'm already going down to the storage unit later today, is I will need to, or tomorrow rather, I can get the color board that I had from my old apartment, and it should be big enough to cover that up. So I may either put that in front of this, or I may just replace that with this, whatever. So, away from that, guys, it's going to be a pretty simple day for me. I'm going to go and grab an early lunch that will function as my lunch as well in an hour. So basically I'll get a large sandwich at Subway and then take the second half of that to work with me, and then I'll eat it I think it's like 4 o'clock when my lunch break is. And then I'm going to come back here after the work session. I'm going to probably watch some YouTube videos, have a beer or two, and then take a sleeping pill and go to sleep. Today is going to be a very bland and boring day for the vlog, and I apologize for that. I'm just so exhausted. Like, I looked at the stats, and it's been almost 2 months since I had a sleep score of 85 or above and slept for more than 7 hours. So I'm starting to think that I need to do other things in order to bring this under control, because if I'm not getting sleep is the foundation for everything physical. I got lucky. Amazon packages got delivered earlier today than usual. That's a good thing. It means I got to play with this stuff over tonight and this weekend. Yay! As you guys saw in that last clip, Amazon packages are delivered. Basically, that's the stuff for the house. In particular, the large box is a small vacuum cleaner, which I really needed because I didn't want to, unknowingly to them, borrow Ben & Kamey's again, which is actually my old Dyson that I sold to them probably 5 years ago. And so, yeah, I snuck it over to my place, a couple of times in order to vacuum the carpeted areas. And so I just was tired of that, and I was able to get a really good deal on a very small vacuum, and one that I think that will fit kind of alternative use cases if I need them in the future. But in the interim, it's perfectly sufficient to use as a kind of vacuum in the house. So I'm pumped about that. And then the tiny box is actually a Bluetooth transmitter. So I'm going to hook that up to the TV
with the new neighbors who have moved in across the way. They're a little loud, and I don't want to be rude and say something about it because they do have like a small, they do have a small child, a little girl who's actually super cute, but she's got an attitude on her. And both of her parents are loud as well, so she's learning those behaviors and emulating those behaviors, and those walls are pretty thin. So by getting a Bluetooth transmitter, I've got 3 different Bluetooth receiver headsets that I can pair that up to. So, even if I'm watching TV for 2 or 3 hours, which almost never happens, but if I decide to one night, I can flip on one or more of those headsets and be able to watch with, noise cancellation and, custom fit earpieces. So that's really nice. That said, it is very quickly approaching the time that I'm supposed to be in work, which is noon. And at that point, the day is just going to fly by. I mean, I'm going to maybe get a clip at lunch. I did go pick up lunch, which you guys saw. Maybe if I edited it in, I'm not sure if I did. Picked up some Subway. I put it into my old classic buddy, the blue cooler bag that I bought in California, I believe it was, if memory serves. And so it's got 3 of the freezer bricks in there as well, so it'll stay nice and cool until I end up going on lunch, which I think is at 4 o'clock or 4:30. So at this point, though, I'm going to throw you guys into a hyperlapse as I head into the office so that I can listen to some music and try and get myself into a slightly better mood because I'm super tired right now.
Market here, 11:53, right on time. Clock in a couple minutes early. I'm going to try and early out of this shift, but I don't think it's going to happen given how much work has been coming through all week. But you never know. Saturday may be a different situation. But let's get into work. I'll see you guys in a few hours.
I should have been about halfway through my lunch right now, but I somehow got lucky and got one of the few early outs they were offering right at the start of my shift. So I saw that it was in as soon as I clocked in. I immediately put in for it, and sure enough, I got it. So 4 hours there, though, in the office. Another good run. Had an extra test session. I didn't get the results in time because I was leaving early, right? I think that my supervisor thought she had a little more time to process it and kick it back to me. It's cool. Like, I'll figure out. I mean, I feel like I did okay. I feel like I did better. Okay. I did well versus the other tests recently, and all of those I passed. So, good deal. At this point, it's a quick grocery run because, most importantly, I'm out of body wash. So, I would like to stay clean over my weekend. So, I'm going to go pick that up over at the supermarket. And then it's to the house and finally a chance to eat since I haven't done so literally all day. I've had 2 pieces of bread that I had around 9:30. So, I'm looking forward to digging into the Subway sandwich that I picked up and making that kind of my super late lunch at 5 p.m. And then I'll sort out what I'm going to do for dinner, which is very likely going to be leftover pizza somewhere around 10. Yay!
Just before midnight now, and tonight, since I got back here, has been nothing but actually working on Daily V25, a couple of phone calls with friends, and then at the end of it there, watching The Flash. So basically, between final round reviews, I would take a 10 or 15 minute break and watch 15 minutes of The Flash, since that's one of my more favorite shows on TV right now. Arrow was where I started. Flash has suited me better in the last year. That stated with me running out of episodes here very quickly. I suspect I'll dig back into Arrow sooner rather than later because I don't want to go and find a new property to get invested in. That said, as we approach midnight now, I'm gonna go take a sleeping pill and just try and chill out and relax. Even though daily V25 is not done, it's close, and I'd much rather come at it with a clear head, a clear mind after a bit of sleep. This is a super long clip at this point, but I will say thank you so much for your time and your attention. I sincerely appreciate them both. And remember, you never stumble upon opportunity by standing still, so go do cool stuff. Bye for now.